You're watching One-on-One Sports, hosted by Eric Kendall and Christian Binder, with resident experts Tom Waterman, Greg Brzezowski, and Alex Rosenbaum, Billy O'Riordan and Josh Norris, Robert Woner, and Michael Heil. Paulo de la Fell and Alex Sharon. Christine Williams and Aaron Moger. Welcome to One-on-One Sports.
Hello and welcome to another One-on-One Sports. I'm Eric Kendall.
And I'm Christian Binder. Spring break has come and gone, and we are excited to be back. Here are your starting five.
3 weeks of absolute madness led to one of the most improbable title games in recent history, as the UConn Huskies have been crowned the new kings of college basketball. Christian, a lot of analysts are saying this might have been the worst college title game ever. Are you in agreement?
Yes, 100% yes, because this was the worst offensive game I've seen in years. 18.8%. That's Butler's field goal percentage. 2 points in the paint for the entire game, which didn't come until 6 minutes left in the second half for Butler. That is just awful basketball.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to argue with you on that, but I'm going to say this is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. You know that, right? You're always for the upsets in this tournament. Let's get the little guys a chance. This is what happens when the little guys are on the big stage. They blow it.
Right.
They can't do it.
I love it. Was it not a great tournament?
It was a good tournament.
But
I want the best team
didn't win.
I'm a front runner in that way. I want Ohio State playing Kansas this year. I want the Kansas-Memphis games. Those are the truly great games.
Opening weekend of Major League Baseball has finally arrived, and it's great to see baseball getting back into full swing. Eric, what did you think of opening day?
Well, I did watch it, surprisingly, because you know I'm not a baseball guy, but it's mostly the length of baseball I don't like. I follow a couple teams here and there, the Indians, the Reds, the Braves to a lesser extent. I watched how they did first game, but my gosh, it's just the cap on the marathon season of baseball where we have to watch 161 more of these, and I'm supposed to get excited about one.
I love it. The opening day festivities are so much fun, and what better way to open it with the Tigers and the Yankees, two historic franchises, kicking off what's sure to be a great season. I mean, we've already had some historic achievements just within this first 4 days of the season. So what does the rest of the season have? I want to know.
You know what I'm glad what they did this year in opposed to last year? They actually had opening day during the daytime. The last couple of years they had like some primetime game. That was just weird to me. Barry Bonds is facing serious allegations of perjury, and the testimonies against him are only making the situation uglier. Christian, I don't know if you've been following this, but Barry Bonds in court the last couple of days, and it hasn't been looking pretty.
No, it hasn't. And I can't believe I'm following this because I honestly don't care. It has nothing to do with baseball at this point anymore. And an interesting fact, if you've watched him go into the courtroom, actually looked at him, you see how much thinner he is? Does that not automatically give you some kind of...
I haven't paid any attention to that. I guess he does look a little thinner, but...
A little?
I mean, he hasn't been playing baseball. He hasn't been working out as much.
He hasn't been juicing.
I tell you what, Barry Bonds he can't win in this situation. Even if he's found innocent of whatever charges are brought up against him, court of public opinion is making a ruling, and it's against Barry Bonds.
Oh,
these testimonies are awful.
He's done.
It's beyond repair.
Well, it's a tradition unlike any other, and the pros are back in Augusta for another edition of the Masters. Eric, who is going to win this year's Masters?
Gosh, I just love hearing this. Masters Week is probably one of my favorite. It's my favorite holiday. Yes, I consider it a holiday. The azaleas on 13.
It's a 4-day holiday.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And well, for me, it starts on Monday. It's like a 7-day holiday. But the azaleas on 13 and number 12, and then you see the icons, Tiger, Phil, and in the practice rounds, Jack's walking around and Arnold's walking around. It's the best thing ever. Let's talk about who I think is going to win. A couple of guys who've been putting really well lately. Aaron Baddeley, the Australian, and Luke Donald from England. Both great putters and have been up there in the top 10.
There's two guys that I think. Nick Watney, who's got the most top 10 finishes this year.
Sure.
And Dustin Johnson, a young gun who's really blowing everybody away. No shot for Tiger Woods.
Dustin Johnson, he's due. Yeah, Tiger, I don't see it with his recent performances. The McDonald's All-American Game has come and gone with what looks like a great young crop of players. Christian, are you impressed particularly with any one or two of these guys?
Yeah, one guy really stood out to me. Anthony Davis, who's going to Kentucky next year, was phenomenal. And people were even saying he might even overtake Austin Rivers as the #1 prospect. I think he's going to mean the most to Kentucky. He's going to mean the most to his team next year because it looks like there's going to be another huge talent turnover in Kentucky.
Sure.
Now, Austin Rivers, obviously, if Kyrie Irving goes pro, he'll step right in. If not, well, he's got some years to learn.
No, well, he'll contribute early. I mean, Austin Rivers is that good. But you look at these Blue Bloods in Duke and Kentucky. It's side of a rivalry with the third Plumlee brother coming in. He's a 7-footer. He's just like the other guys, like a clone. And then Kentucky with Gilchrist and Marquise Teague, Jeff Teague's little brother. And Anthony Davis, as you said, Kentucky may have that squad to get it done this next year.
Time for us to take our first time out, but when we return, we will take a peek into the brand new baseball season and find out why the Boston Red Sox are under the most pressure. Stay tuned.